Hi, it's Dinosaur George answering more of your questions that you sent to me at dinosaurgeorge.com. If you have a question you'd like to send it in, visit our website, click on the Ask Dinosaur George page, and send me what you got. Okay, let's get started. This question comes from my friend Amaar from Banks, Oregon. And by the way, I apologize if my head sounds a little stuffy. I recently had sinus surgery and I'm recovering from it. My head's still a little stuffy, so I apologize if this sounds a little muffled. Okay, Amaar, excuse me, in Banks, Oregon. He said, George, I saw a previous video where you pronounced my name properly. Thank you for asking. You're welcome, Amaar. I'm glad I did. He wanted to ask this. He said, you know, Allosaurus are the top predators of the Jurassic, but I went on Wikipedia and I looked it up and I found that Torvosaurus, a dinosaur that I have in my traveling dinosaur collection, it said Torvosaurus is the largest theropod of the Jurassic. And he says, I thought you said that Allosaurus was the top predator. Here's the thing, Torvosaurus, the biggest Torvosaurus ever found is pretty big. It's a big dude. They're nasty creatures. The reason why I still believe Allosaurus is the top predator is because Allosaurus appears to be a little more advanced. Looking at CAT scans of Allosaurus's brain, it appears that he may have had a little more brain power. And in the animal kingdom, brain power, of course, constitutes survival. And so I think Allosaurus was probably a little smarter, if that's a good term, smarter than Torvosaurus, and therefore I think he would have been the top predator. Here's the other reason why I think this, Amaar. Torvosaurus is very rare. Allosaurus is incredibly plentiful. And what that tells me is that if there's more of one dinosaur than the other, then that tells me that one was more successful. And success in the dinosaur kingdom is being able to pass your genes into the next generation and make more of you. And it looks like Allosaurus was making more baby Allosauruses than Torvosaurus was. So the other thing to keep in mind about dinosaurs, and this drives people crazy, and believe me, I understand, I can tell you that Allosaurus was 35 feet long. You could go online and Google Allosaurus size, and you're probably going to get 30 different versions of how big it was. The reason for that is oftentimes people that put information online simply pull the first bit of information they find from a resource and they don't question it, and sometimes that perpetuates errors. And the other thing is that new discoveries can sometimes prove that something was bigger than we thought, or something was smaller than we thought. So I hope that kind of clears up the confusion. My good friend Nico in Tagard, Oregon. How do you like that, Nico? I pronounced Tagard, Oregon correctly again. Thank you. He said, hey George, I wanted to update you on the name of that baby elephant I told you about. Nico has a job working at a zoo, and there was a baby elephant. I asked him to tell me the name of it. Its name is Sumatra, but they call it Sam. That's cool. Sumatra is a cool name for a baby elephant. Here's what he said. He said, while we were on vacation, we went to a water park. And it got me wondering, did dinosaurs such as Spinosaurus and Suchomimus swim? Yeah, I think they did. I absolutely think they did. I think Spinosaurus, Suchomimus, who else? Baryonyx, Megaraptor. Those dinosaurs, I believe, made their living by hunting and killing fish. That's what I think. And so doing so means they had to be at least efficient hunters while in the water. Now, swimming may not have been their forte. They may have simply stood in streams and sort of done like modern day grizzly bears, where you stand there, you wait for the fish to swim next to you or by you, and you reach down with those ginormous arms and you reach down and you grab them. That may have been how they did it. But whatever the case, you look at their body design and their tails seem to be a little more flattened laterally down the center. In other words, the tail wasn't big and round, it was a little more flattened, and that kind of suggests to me that it may have been able to use to sort of help propel them through the water. Now the tail didn't move like a crocodile's tail, because there were little tiny rods that interconnected the vertebra and the tail and kept it sort of stiff, but the entire tail could have moved to the side and maybe acted as a rudder. So yeah, in my opinion, Nico, I do think that Spinosaurus and Suchomimus certainly had the ability to swim. Okay, Ryan in New Lenox, Illinois. Ryan wants to know who would win in a fight between Carcharodontosaurus and Spinosaurus. Well, Ryan, keep in mind now, these two dinosaurs did live together at the same time at the same place, and it's certainly possible and plausible that these dinosaurs did fight with each other. You have to sum up all of the features of dinosaurs to be able to determine what would happen, what could happen in a fight. Keep in mind, I wasn't there. I know I'm old, but I'm not that old. So I wasn't there to actually see the fight. Nobody was. So this is speculation. But it's speculation based on science. Some paleontologists get all bent out of shape when anybody is willing to speculate on things. My opinion is, get over yourself. Get a grip. I'm not playing the role of scientist. I like dinosaurs. I like sharing my information. So I have no qualms about telling you what I think happens. Doesn't mean I'm right, but the idea that we should not speculate on anything to me is completely absurd. And man, too many stuffed shirts in this industry. Calm down, take it easy. Here's what I think. You look at Carcharodontosaurus. He's a big, honking, powerful dinosaur. He's robust. He's built for a fight. He's got pretty big arms. He's got a big head, and he's got very thin teeth. Now you look at Spinosaurus. His teeth are not blade-like. His teeth are round. And when you compare Spinosaurus teeth and Carcharodontosaurus teeth side by side, you can clearly see the difference. The Carcharodontosaurus tooth is the very thin, narrow one, and the Spinosaurus tooth is the round one. So right off the bat, that gives Carcharodontus an advantage because his teeth are very thin and therefore can slice meat much easier. Spinosaurus's teeth are better designed for punching a hole. Second, you look at the skull design between the two. Spinosaurus's skull is very thin and slender. He's got an elongated snout, and that's not very good for inflicting a tremendous amount of bite force. You look at the skull of Carcharodontosaurus, it's short and robust, and when that dude bit you, he uses these enormous muscles that come down and connect to his lower jaw and gives a tremendous bite force. So, and then body design, again, Carcharodontosaurus is very robust. Spinosaurus is more slender. They're both big, but comparing one to the other, in my opinion, Carcharodontosaurus, if he got a hold of a Spinosaurus, would beat the living tar out of him, and I don't think Spinosaurus would have even put up a fight. I think Spinosaurus would have turned into Chickenosaurus and would have ran. And remember these famous words, "He who chickens and runs away lives to growl another day." Okay, that's it for this segment. Again, go to my website, dinosaurgeorge.com. Click on the Ask Dinosaur George page if you have a question. Remember, I answer questions for kids as young as 2 years old to adults as old as 100. So there's no question too young or too old. Let me give you this advice. When you write to me, keep your questions kind of short, because honestly, I get 1,000 emails a month from people all over the world asking me questions. And when I open a question, and if it fills up the entire page, sometimes, truthfully, I just don't have time to look at it. So you don't have to send me a little short segment, but just kind of keep it narrow, and don't send me one where you ask like 7 and 8 and 9 questions in a single email, because I just can't possibly answer that. So go to the website, dinosaurgeorge.com. While you're there, sign up for our free monthly newsletter. Thank you all so much for visiting my site, and take care of yourself and have a good day. We'll see you.